So one of our popular sellers here at Mostyn Industries is our mirrors. Now it seems to me that half the people that get these struggle with putting them on. I'm going to show you how we do it, and hopefully this doesn't just work for ours, it'll also work for other types of mirrors, as long as they've got this this shaft set up like this. There are a new mirror design. I might actually have one here, but it works like a wedge. This is my preferred design because it actually gives you an equal surface all the way around the edge. Barrier mirrors can be complicated to fit, and so hopefully this helps. Probably the first thing, if you can zoom in on here, is to make sure, I have had in the past where people have put these collars around the wrong way. The idea is to have the slits all facing inwards towards the bar. That way when this does tighten up, the whole lot has a chance to expand. In this case, what I might do is actually remove the mirror part, and so you can see exactly how these work, and it'll give you the best sense of what we're actually about. I like these particular mirrors because they run on a Teflon ball. They've got two bonuses. Basically the idea is, if you have a look here, that's a Teflon ball, which is quite hard. So once you separate it and you pull this one apart, actually see it's got a rubber thing there as well, which just helps a little bit. Anyway, so what we're going to do here is remove the whole thing right down to the guts of it. You'll see there's an 8mm bolt there. In my hand here is an 8mm nut. Now I like ours because ours are one of the few ones as well that have an 8mm nut. A lot of them have 6mm, and being aluminium, very light, you can see this one's already got some markings, but being very light, it is quite easy to pull the shaft out. So yeah, the 8mm is definitely a preferred option. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is, you've got your three pieces, like so, your inner shaft, your outer shaft, and your nut. With this, I'm actually going to use a vise, and I'm just going to tighten that right up until it can't go any further. Now this is for a 7/8 bar. It also works for a 1-inch bar. Certain 7/8 bars are thicker than others. I think that's about a 19mm that if you just want to use that shaft, that's good to 19. But this one will take you out to for a 22mm bar. So now you can see basically what I've done here. If you zoomed in on that, is that is totally square for a start, and fits into that nicely. So basically the idea is that this one here can't move, or it's harder for it to move to twist inside that. All the twisting you want done is going to be that one onto that. So now I'm just going to give this a bit of a, that's probably about it there, and since we got the camera set up, I'll find here's a bar. Hopefully this is exactly the same size. Put this in, you can see that's still quite loose in there. Got that. So what I'm going to do is just give it a bit more on the vise until we start getting to a situation where I can see that it's expanding. Still probably not even half a mil play. So now that should be about it. But that's perfect, fits in there nicely, just moves. So what we're going to do now is put this back together and fit it onto the bike itself. Hopefully that bar is the same inner diameter as what we're doing here, and we might actually move the camera so you can see this as a close-up on the bike as we do it. Here we have the wedge set up out of the barrier mirrors, just as we bought it off the vise there. These are some Posh grips, a new item that Posh sells that actually have the little chrome end on it, which you can just take off, like so. Inside, you can take that out with a blade, or if you want, if you need to. But the idea is that when this fits in, it's quite firm. We could have made that slightly firmer than that, but we'll see how we go. In this case, because it's not quite firm enough, I'll just use the multi-grips. And it really is, hopefully, as simple as that. Now that feels quite, I actually might just give it a touch more. Alright, put that on an angle so you can see it as well. So what we're doing is tightening up the inside one. Those wedges are working against each other, and I'm not going to overdo it. But look, I couldn't get that any tighter by hand too easily. So now all I'm going to do is reinstall the mirrors. I'll do it the same as the other side. Teflon ball goes in like so. The good thing about these is you can mount them in different directions. You can have it upside down, up, down, blah blah. So they're quite nifty like that. Now all I'm going to do is put in a couple of bolts. The trick with this is that the two bolts actually work against each other. So do the top bolt first, so it holds the mirror in place. Then do the bottom bolt. I'll see you in a second. Hopefully you can see that like so. So I get the angle about where I want it. Now, just by doing up that top bolt, you can see that mirror is quite firm. Now I'll do up the bottom bolt, which keeps it, so at the moment it can rotate like that, but once I do the bottom bolt up, I'll be happy with the angle. When you do the bottom bolt up, it can loosen that top one up fractionally and make that mirror a bit loose, so you just double check that again. And now you can see that I can't, even with, yeah, it will move, but only just barely. So I'll just give it a fraction more. But look, that's the, no Photoshop, no editing tools. That's how it's done. They're not going to go anywhere. If you've got any other questions about any products, we've got a few videos on there with the products we sell. Hopefully that answers any of your questions. As I say, these particular mirrors are good for 22mm handlebars. Yeah, I think they look great. They're kind of old school. We also do sell the CNC version, and they have exactly the same setup inside the shaft, so there's no worries there. Okay, happy riding, and we'll see you on the next video.